do the week 5 assignment, stock valuation, start on the course homepage and launch the Excel keyboard shortcut. We're going to be doing our work in Google Sheets view so that we can all work together as a team, because there's nothing that we're going to be doing that has to be done in Excel. Everything is compatible with Google Sheets. And therefore, we're going to use Control T to create a new tab. We're going to Control Tab to get to the next tab, and Shift Control Tab to get to the previous tab. We're going to be auto-filling down. Control D. We'll actually find that we don't need to use this. You'll see more on that in a minute. But Control C for copy and Shift Control V for paste. So Control Tab, get back to D2L and click on Assessments, Assignments, and go down and click on Week 5 Stock Valuation. So we're starting with part A, the part we do before a class by ourselves. And the first step is to make the week 5 table here in our company tab. So let's access Google Sheets. We're going to launch Google Drive. We're going to find our team folder and shared with me or in starred. And going to go into the team folder and open up the industry spreadsheet and make sure that we have a shortcut compatibility on with Control/. So to do that, Control T to start a new tab. Click on the applications grid in the upper right hand corner in Google Drive. Go down to starred or shared with me, wherever you have your team folder, and then launch the team spreadsheet. Done. And then Control/ to make sure the compatibility is on. Mine is, so escape. Then Control Tab, and let's go see the next step in 1.2, week 5 table. We're going to create week 5 in I-103, and then we're going to bold it. So Shift Control Tab, and I'm going to go across to the I column, and I'm going to use page down to get down to 103. Here it is, 103, and week 5. I'm going to go back up and Control B to bold it. Control Tab. Then I'm going to copy paste the following items into right below the week 5 I-103 rate in I-104. So Control C. I'm going to do that again, make sure that worked. Control C there, and then Shift Control Tab, go down one, Shift Control V to paste without formatting, and Control Tab. Then we're going to fill out the formulas for those. Now the first 5, G17 to G21, are all in a row, so we should be able to use autofill, but there's even something more convenient I'll show you. Shift Control Tab, so equal G17, enter, and Google Sheets noticed that these are all in a row, these first 5, which is exactly the 5 that we wanted. And so to accept this, it's Control Enter. You can see that right on the sign, Control Enter to auto show. So I'm going to do that, Control Enter. Otherwise, I'd have to select the previous one, Shift down, and go Control D to autofill down. Then the next one I need to do is the dividend from the first year, and that is C21. G21 is the dividend for the most recent year, but the first year is C21. So Shift Control Tab equals C21. And then the earnings per share, that's also from the Control Tab, that's G7. That's always, all of these so far are right from our data, given data. So Shift Control Tab equal G7. The return on equity, though, that is, it says it's in N14. And this will be from week 2 when we were making all the financial ratios. Let's just make sure that it actually is in N14. I'm not going to just type it. I'm going to go up and find it. So Shift Control Tab equal, and then I'm going to page up to the 14 area. And it is return on equity, and N14 is return on equity on the most recent. Oh, somehow I lost my equal sign. So page down. Okay, but anyways, I know it's equal N14. And then the risk-free rate, it's 3.52% right now while I'm making this video. But by the time you're doing the assignment, I might update this to be a more recent risk-free rate. So it might not be 3.52. So put whatever is here, whatever number is here as the current one. And but right now I'm going to put 3.52. So Shift Control Tab, 3.52%. Similarly, Control Tab, the market free rate, which is the average 10-year annualized return from the Standard & Poor 500, and it's 15.6%. Again, this might change, so don't necessarily do 15.6, but whatever is here by the time you do the assignment. So Shift Control Tab, 15.6%. Then the growth of the dividend. So this is a formula that is going to be the dividend of the first year divided by the dividend D0, which is the current one, the current year, to the exponent of 1 minus 1 divided by how many years there are, which is 5. We have 5 years of data, minus 1. That's the exponent. And then after that, the entire thing is subtracted by 1. So Shift Control Tab. So this equals, and I'm going to put in brackets, brackets, the dividend from the first year divided by the dividend of the current year, close bracket. Exponent is the up arrow caret, and then I'm going to put the exponent in brackets as well. Exponent of 1 divided by, and I'm not going to put in brackets 5 minus 1, I'm just going to put 4. 5 minus 1 is 4, close brackets. And then now that I've closed the brackets, I'm no longer an exponent. And so now I could put my minus 1, and minus 1 is not part of the exponent. If it were part, it would have to be within the brackets. And then enter. So that's the growth of the dividend. Now, D1 is the dividend that is calculated to be what we would estimate it to be in 1 year from now. And the formula for that, Control Tab to get back to here, is the dividend currently multiplied by 1 plus the dividend growth that we just finished figuring out. So Shift Control Tab. So it equals the dividend now multiplied, asterisk, in brackets, 1 plus this dividend growth that we just found, close brackets, enter. And so in our dividend, they're going down a little bit. That's very sad in my case. Hopefully yours is better than mine. And then now the rate of return, so Control Tab to get back to our instructions. The rate of return is the risk-free rate. RF is the risk-free rate. That is 3.52%. This is based, I base this, by the way, on the Canadian yield on a 10-year bond. So that's the risk-free rate. So it's the risk-free rate plus beta, which we have listed up here in G20, multiplied by the difference between the market rate and the risk-free rate. So Shift Control Tab equals the risk-free rate right here plus beta multiplied by, in brackets, the risk-free rate, or no, sorry, the market rate, RM, minus the risk-free rate, enter. 11.44%. And then the retained earnings, Shift tab. That is the earnings per share minus the dividend. So Shift Control Tab. Earnings per share is up here minus the dividend, and the dividend in the future dividend, this one. And then Control Tab. The growth rate of the company is return on equity multiplied by 1 over the future dividend divided by earnings per share. Shift Control Tab. So it equals return on equity multiplied by, in brackets, 1 minus, and then I don't have to put the quotient in brackets. I don't have to put this because order of operations, Excel and Google Sheets will do multiplication and division first, and then they'll do addition and subtraction. So it will know to do the D1 over EPS first. So D1 divided by EPS, and then close brackets, enter. Now, Control Tab, the present value of growth opportunities, it's complex. It's the retained earnings multiplied by the return over on equity divided by the required return minus 1, and then all that is divided by the required return subtracting the company growth rate. This is okay. So Shift Control Tab. So equals the retained earnings multiplied, and actually I'm going to make this the numerator in brackets. So open bracket, then retained earnings multiplied by another bracket, return on equity divided by the required return minus 1, close brackets. So that, and close brackets for that segment, but also close another bracket for the whole numerator. Now I'm going to divide this, and the denominator I do need to put in brackets. It's the required return minus the company growth rate. And if I just do the required return and then subtracted the growth rate, order of operations, it would divide K and then subtract everything by the company growth rate. So I've got to put these in brackets as well. So the required return minus the company growth rate, close bracket, enter. The negative present value of growth opportunities. That's not boding well for my company. Hopefully yours is better. And that concludes this part of this step.